Today we're talking about who's the better driver, you or your wife. This is gonna go bad. So I'm gonna start this one off because if anybody's going to cause our marriage to go down in a flame and down in flames, it's gonna be me starting it off.
This is a recipe for self-immolation.
Yes, it is like throwing gasoline on myself and sparking the lighter until I go up in flames. So,
All right, let's go.
first, when I was first dating my wife, I thought she followed a little too close to the car in front of her.
Do you push the passenger seat brake?
Not only did I push the passenger seat brake hard, I also would grab the handle every time I thought she was getting too close. So she always knew when I was getting nervous because I grabbed that handle.
Do you check the blind spot too?
All the time. I'll look for her. And then she will start saying things like, I know how to drive. And I'm like, I know you do, just not that good. And that's never the right answer.
I was about to say, so when are you going to show me? This is not a good idea.
Oh my God.
This is stuff my wife hates.
Yes. And then it gets worse when like her parents are in the back seat, because I'll continue to do the same thing, and I will say things like, could you just slow down a little? You're going a little fast. I'm doing the speed limit. And then it turns into a full-blown, oh, yeah. Yeah. And then it's worse when the in-laws start chiming in, because father-in-law will say something to the effect of, yeah, Josh is right. And then the mother-in-law will chime in with, why you got to tell her how to drive? And then we have what I call a war in a car with sides. And it's bad. It's always bad.
It's never good.
No, there's never been.
So,
No.
In general, I think, right, you asked the question, who's the better driver, my wife or me? Mm-hmm. According to me, I'm
Yes.
going to say me.
Bum, bum, bum.
Shocking. My wife is very, very, very cautious when she's driving.
I am too.
She's very cautious,
Mm-hmm.
right? She's probably never at risk for getting a speeding ticket,
Wow.
right? She's probably
I like her.
if you were to categorize people low to high on the risk of them getting in an accident, right? She's low, right? She's lower than like an 80-year-old because they can't drive.
Yeah. No, keep going.
But
no, this is
so like
enlightening.
one of the things that bothers me is left lane drivers who shouldn't be in the left lane.
No, they should be in the right lane if they're going slow.
Okay,
Pass on the left.
So there's a highway here in Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
I-76,
Oh.
right? And as you're driving east on I-76, right? As you get close to Brighton,
Yes.
Greeley,
Yes.
right? The exit for Highway 85 stems from the left side of the highway.
Which I don't know why they did that.
So there's this weird thing where if you want to continue on I-76 and then go into like towards Nebraska, right?
You have to be in the left lane.
You have to be in the right lane. So like, where's this mythical thing where like now slow people should be on the left, but they shouldn't be? And so I remember one time she was playing for the Greeley Philharmonic and we were going to a show and she was driving.
Yes.
And don't ask me why she was driving. I was probably trying to be nice, being like, sure, let's take your car.
I had a couple beers.
Actually, no, I know why, because I had my Jeep. She couldn't have her hair like, wee. Okay, so we took her car, right? And I just remember sitting in the passenger seat and just being like, you shouldn't be in the left lane. You're going like 60 miles an hour.
Wow.
And people are passing you on the right. But I don't hide it very well. She knows all of
You give me the look, you're like,
She knows all of this. I don't hide it very well. I think what would happen, like if she showed up here and you said, hey, the plan was to get in the car and go somewhere. if she showed up here with her car,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because my car wasn't here, she'd throw me the keys.
God.
Now, look, I drive 30 miles each way from my house to here.
Yikes.
More than that now.
Yeah.
I haven't actually looked because I don't have
It's so
to.
long at that point.
Because there's no one on the roads. So
Yeah,
it's like,
I know,
you get
yeah.
to drive fast.
Right.
Obviously obeying
Yeah,
all speed limits.
laws, everything.
So this morning I was in a particular mood, and
Oh, yeah,
and
continue.
I was getting on the highway,
Yeah.
and this guy was in front of me, and he was like 911 years old, and I'm rounding down,
Methuselah is driving.
right? And he's just going like 9 miles an hour on an on-ramp. And then he gets to the merge section,
Yeah.
and the speed limit is 65, so these people are hauling, and you're going 9.
Yes.
So then, like, I look, and this guy was coming up from behind us, but he was trying to get in. It was one of the circles.
Yeah,
Right? So,
yeah.
so he was trying to exit. So he needed us to move,
Oh, no.
right? And this guy is like checking and crying because he can't figure out like how to anticipate momentum. And so then I just merged and slammed on the gas, right? And then then I was like, dude, you've got to get over one more lane or he's going to like drive into the sign. I merged over and then he merged over. And then I was like giving him the business from the side because it's terrible driving. Those are the things.
Oh, my.
Those are the things,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you can't anticipate, there's a saying.
Yes. Which
The
is?
saying goes, traffic accidents are not caused by the rate at which you are moving. The Autobahn has very few accidents. It's not about how fast you're driving, right?
What is
It's
it then?
how often speed changes. That's what causes accidents. So if you are on the highway going 65 miles an hour and some jackwagon is going 40, right?
Yes. I
And
what
you
you're saying.
see people sort of merging around, trying to get around them, right? Because we're all going together, right? It's when you're the fourth person in line and you recognize these guys have moved and you can't, then you're slamming on your brakes and now the people behind you. It's the change in velocity that causes accidents, right? But the fear factor when you can't understand that you're the problem, maybe I'm the problem. I'm clearly the problem, right? But you can't understand that you are making it more difficult for people to drive when you're on the highway going 40 miles an hour. If you can't figure out how to merge
Get off the road.
at speed, then just stay on the side roads. Don't
It'd be
do
fine.
it. Don't
It's
do
okay.
it. It'll be okay. You'll eventually get there.
We're going to eliminate all old people
You'll eventually
from the
get there,
roads.
and we'll never cross paths, and you'll never have to deal with me.
And I won't give you the finger as I drive by.
Basically, like screaming in my car. But the answer to your question,
Is you?
yes.
Yes. I feel the same way too. My wife learned how to drive in New York. I learned to drive in Colorado, and she actually scares me. Don't get mad at me for this one when you watch this, because you do drive like a mad woman. I mean, it is.
My wife does not drive like a man.
Oh, I mean, she's got New York elbows, but she uses bumpers at the same time.
My wife has actually. She has. Oh, my wife never does that.
Oh,
But she has said to me, when I'm driving and
Yeah.
she's in the car,
yes.
and I'm just making color commentary about things that are happening around me, because I have to, like,
Yeah, that guy's a
I
jackwagon.
drive so much. I'm like, oh,
Get
like,
over.
what are you
Get
doing?
over.
So I make those comments. My wife has actually said to me on multiple occasions, you realize that what you're saying, if I was on the road and you passed me, you'd be saying those things about me. And I'm like, and my response, yeah.
Wow. So no, I'm not the only one who finds ways to say bad things. I feel so relieved.
But at this point in time, we don't fight about it,
Yeah.
right? This is just sort of one of those things where she knows that I have a particular way in
of
which
driving.
I drive
Yes.
my vehicles,
Yes.
and she does not, and so she just recognizes this again, right? Just goes back to, this isn't something we would fight about, because this is not something that she's passionate about caring,
Mhm.
whether or not, I'm driving or she's driving, she would just throw me the keys. Like, okay, you drive, you do it.
My wife, when I would start doing the passenger side brake and the oh crap bar, she started using the statement, "Would you like to drive?"
Yes.
So then I started with the, "Yes, hand me the keys."
That doesn't go over.
At first it didn't, because, we were newlyweds at the time. She's like, "Well, what's wrong with my driving?" I was like, "You just asked me."
So
Then I got in trouble. Yeah.
my buddy, okay, so we were driving to my bachelor party.
Yes.
So my bachelor party was like a 3 days at a golf resort. Shocking.
Yeah, I was going to say golf and you.
Ballyneal in Holyoke, Colorado. Awesome.
Yeah.
So my buddy is driving us from Denver, and we're in the car, right? And there's a bunch of us, right? And so he's driving, and I was doing that, like the passenger brake and the holding on and checking the blind spots while my buddy is driving, right? And at one point in time, we're like halfway there, and he just looks at me and he goes, Are you just going to keep checking the blind spot and telling me when to brake and holding on like I don't know what I'm doing? And I looked at him and I go, yeah.
The whole time, man. Happy bachelor party. God,
I mean, my wedding's coming up pretty soon. I think my fiance would appreciate if I was there.
Oh, you just can't control yourself, can you?
No, I can. They're my buddies.
Right.
He didn't appreciate it very much.
No, but if you're going to talk smack, you at least do it to your friends and your loved ones.
Absolutely.
Because they take it the best. It's strangers who have a problem because they have a tendency to fight back. Usually.
Yeah, usually saying nasty things to strangers doesn't go over.
No, and I've never done that.
I have never done that either.
Or to coworkers. Actually, I never really do that to coworkers because I have to see them every day.
You do have to see them every day.
Yes. So I like to keep things as comfortable as possible.
Copacetic.
That's another episode of My Wife Hates This. Clearly, we have driving control issues. But if you like what you've seen here, go ahead, ring that bell, subscribe to our channel, follow what we do, because every time we make something new, you should see it, because what we say is funny. Well, mostly. And if you would like more fun content, head over to ourcommunitynow.com, where you can find all of the stories that make life worth living, because that's what we do here. It's true.
It is true.
It is actually
very true.
It is true. But I'm Josh.
I'm in trouble.
Oh, he is in trouble, guys. And we'll see you next time.